thing I want you to know is that identity must become a revelation. It must be revealed. Identity in Christ is more than just making declarations. We have a lot of Christians just making declarations. They're just declaring, I'm a new creation in Christ. They don't even know what that means. It must become a revelation and not just mere head knowledge. The book of Galatians, chapter 1, verses 15 to 16. Paul the apostle, speaking to us, said here, he's talking about himself, said, but when it pleased God, who separated me from my mother's womb and called me through his grace, what did God do? He said, God revealed his son in me. Paul could not do anything until he saw himself. He saw Christ in him, and he saw himself in Christ. That was what distinguished his ministry. He has to have a revelation of who Christ is and who was he in Christ. And until you and I have this revelation, we will just be parroting things like a parrot. I'm a new creation. And that person is still racked with sickness and disease. How can you be a new creation and you are still bowing to sickness and disease? How can you still be afflicted with the same thing that is afflicting the world? And you said you are a new creation. All things are of God. Oh, then something is missing. Today, there will be a revelation battered in you of who your identity is in Christ. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 14 says, but the natural man, the naturally minded Christian, cannot or does not receive the things of the Spirit of God. What I'm talking about, you cannot receive it if you are in your flesh. If you are looking at the spiritual things through your flesh or through natural physical proofs. Why? Because they will be foolishness to you and I. Doesn't make sense to say I am in the class of God. Doesn't make sense to say COVID-19 cannot come near my house when everybody, including the rulers of the land, are afraid. It doesn't make sense to say any virus called COVID-19 that touches my hand dies instantly. And you know what you are talking about. People think, oh, it's just talking. No, it's not just talking.